We're getting all fancy around here.
It's not done yet. I keep getting frustrated, but I'm trying to just. I like it. I just need to not get impatient.
Yes.
And then
Patience is the key. At least for me, it was like the first year. I was like, oh god. Oh gosh.
I was like, I want it to be like that already.
This is 2 years in, baby.
It's not there yet.
Not yet though. That's the key. Yet. It will. Just give it time. Give it time.
It's not. And I keep seeing other people's hair, like you and Ashlea, and I'm like, y'all make me sick.
We love you
kidding.
too.
Oh! I hate those chairs.
Oh.
Are we in here?
Yeah, we'll be in here.
Yeah.
And y'all have to forgive me because it has been a while.
Come on
For
now.
me. But we don't try to work
You know all the things.
You know what? I need to get a copy of the weekly workshop because I don't have a copy of that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I made some adjustments to Robin's kind of terminal training. Clarence and I talked a little bit. I think one of the biggest things was the lyrics, because everybody adds lyrics differently, and so then when you see it on the screen, it looks different depending on how it's all added in there. So I'll give you this one. I'm making more copies.
And I wasn't sure if this
I'm
was.
so happy to have you back here.
I'm so
happy.
Ariana.
I really good.
Lovely to formally meet you. Yes, you know, I do everything. Not really.
Yeah, because I'm like, I see you.
Say
out there.
praise,
I wasn't
stage,
sure
Yes.
what
stage
training, if it was like new stuff.
I was like, I
or
wanted
for
to
new
learn this for a while, so I
people,
was like,
or-
I want to come and train.
So I didn't know.
So
Well, I'm new to it, so that's why I still need it.
So I guess there's like different levels
Uh-huh.
here,
Oh, you got
because
it
you've done it a while, so you're way more familiar, probably more advanced with this than I am.
It changes.
And it changes often. And the belief is pretty new.
Thank
Ariana
you.
has
Yeah.
no experience at all back here.
Yeah.
I did this like in the old building.
Okay.
So like before we had all this nice fun fancy.
yeah.
Okay, so it's changed
So
a
it
lot.
has definitely changed.
Okay.
Since the last time I touched it. Yeah.
Okay. So I just kind of want to get, everybody on the same page, and we'll just start with foundation stuff. Start with terminology, which all the terminology and things are like that are on this piece of paper, and y'all stop me at any time and ask me questions, because I'm trying to work through this. All right. So there were two big parts that Clarence wanted to discuss, which is creating and prepping, and then the operation of it. And I think for us, it's the lyrics. That's like the biggest thing, and then knowing when to put up the lower thirds. Trying to find those key moments when either the hosts are talking or when Pastor Clark is speaking or whenever they're preaching, to when we put it up. A lot of times with the sermons, we allow Pastor Clark or the preachers to lead us into when they want that lower third. So they tell us what it is, we put it up afterwards, after they lead us into it. With the lyrics, though, we got to be ahead. And the biggest things with the lyrics is what we want to start doing is transitioning the slide at this, like, last two words of that previous slide. If that makes sense, what I'm talking about, right?
Are y'all also responsible for what we're seeing on this back video?
So all lyrics, everything come from what we see in PCO.
Got it. Okay.
And there are a lot of times when we have to go off to YouTube
Yeah.
because we don't know how y'all are going to sing it, right? And so that.
And now, like, even y'all aren't going through a whole run through in the morning, so
True.
there's no way to really know for sure.
No, for sure, yeah. So, if this was a perfect world, right? I'm talking perfect world. In PCO, the way that y'all would sing the song would be in PCO, so that way we can just copy it straight from there and import it into ProPresenter. But that's not always the case.
I will say we have talked about that in praise team of like, okay, well, can you upload the lyrics into PCO just so we as the praise team can have them on Tuesday? So I think it's something he's working for.
Okay.
I promise nothing.
So, being that lyrics is with, let's start with the lyrics and creating new lyrics. And I actually just learned something new because the way that I was creating lyrics, not really necessarily, there's always going to be some issues, right? I guess like Clarence would say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. It is, but it's really identifying where those issues are when you add it. So you got to be able to identify, okay, something's not right then you have to fix those errors, right? So here's the way that he showed me how to do it the other day, and we kind of walked through this. Like I said, perfect world, you have the lyrics to the song, right? But in our case, we don't. So let's just say we have to go to Google, get lyrics to a song.
Google, you said?
Yeah, or multi-track.
Yeah.
Let me take that back.
I know Robin's been pushing that lately.
Here's the issue with multi-tracks. Not every song is in there.
True that.
And we have learned that as well.
And then they will go through every single part multi-tracks with. Which the praise team doesn't always.
That's true.
The singers don't always.
They don't. I'm just picking a song here. See, I've never used this, so.
That was a song that was on there, but then got taken out. It's a shame.
I heard you got a pool.
You a man.
That one of the songs that they sang?
They sang that last
Yeah,
week.
we sang this. Yeah.
Yeah, they, okay.
Yeah.
So, we get our lyrics, right? What we can do is just copy all of our lyrics. Boom, boom, boom.
Let's see how long all of that is.
It's a long song.
And then
It was a 10-minute
Is it-
song.
is
It was
I
a-
was surprised that y'all did 10 minutes, but y'all did it.
Look, we was tired.
It's a good song, though.
And
I love
went
it.
all the way in.
Yeah. But then I knew Joanna was leading it, so I was like, y'all probably will do 10 minutes.
Yes.
All right. So, got our lyrics. We'll copy them. We'll go over to ProPresenter. We'll do File. Now, this is different because the way I taught you, Relika, is a little bit different. But I also put this in the training.
in here.
So, we'll go File. We'll do New Presentation. Export. No, Import. Import. So it should be under creating song lyrics.
Second page.
Yep, second page. So import text from clipboard. So once we import that, it's going to give us our import screen. So just like when we're creating a new presentation, we can set the theme here. So we'll do praise and worship. Come on up. This is our lower third. We can set the library that we want it to set to. So it's a song. We want to make sure that's in the songs library. And then we're going to, if we had already had PCO loaded in here, then we could set it. We can set the playlist. Yeah.
Okay.
But since we don't have our PCO loaded yet, we'll just say none. And then we'll import it. So essentially by doing this, it's going to already go to the slides and already add the theme to it, right? So then once we hit import, it's going to automatically take us to, it's just telling me it already exists. So we'll just, let's do a new version.
Wow, that's nice.
So essentially, in this screen, what it does, remember I copied all the lyrics, right? It will take every chorus, it'll take every break, even the labels. So these letters will let us know that if it's a C for chorus, B for bridge, right?
Okay.
So as we're,
And it's also at the bottom, underneath the words.
yep, and it's
tells
also
you
at the
what it
bottom.
Okay. Okay.
So here's our verses, here's our chorus.
And I love that it colored.
Yep, it
Uh-huh.
color, it does that. Yep, and that's called grouping. So now it's going to group
Okay.
all of your slides together based off of if it's a verse, if it's a chorus, if it's the bridge.
I love that. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So now on YouTube, when you watch the videos for ProPresenter, it was supposed to open a reflow editor once you imported the song, but for whatever reason, this did not do it.
So, okay, I like this because I do the grouping and I do the, you know. What I'm struggling with this one right now is that is this the whole song?
It says it's the whole song.
Okay, so it probably is. Yeah, it's not
Okay.
finished. Okay.
So it's not finished.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it populated slide, but it's got so we'll have to put those down in one line.
So
Okay.
when we imported, it was supposed to go to this screen and open reflow editor,
Okay.
but it didn't do that.
Okay.
So you can always just hit reflow here. It'll open up this view for you. And this is the view that's going to allow us to do 1 line per slide.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because we said it already.
Mhm.
It just didn't take.
Okay. All right, cool.
So
That's what I was wondering. I was like, that's not long enough for that song.
Right.
Right.
No,
You were looking like, wait a minute.
But I was about to. Thank you. Susan,
Yeah.
for being
And
like
so
that.
now that we're in here, now we can insert our slide breaks.
Uh-huh.
So you just move our cursor to the end of the line, and then we hit insert slide break. Now this is allowing us to see that 1 line per slide, so we'll have to do that all the time. The other thing that I've noticed that you can also do from Reflow Editor is your grouping in your slides here too. So let's just say it didn't group for us, but it already did it. We can also group our slides here.
Now, what's going to happen as we're inserting these breaks? Is it going to keep the grouping like it should? Okay.
It should keep the grouping. If we need to edit that grouping, though, you can still do it from this this view. So this arrow or carousel button down, and then you're going to go to group, and then you'll just select what group it is.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, I didn't know you could get it from there. That's nice.
Yeah, I learned that the other day.
Yeah.
Because
Because if you're grouping and it's already there, that slide where you start the group to the end of the PowerPoint presentation will be grouped for that group. So
Yes.
you'll have to continue to
Break it up.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why I was, so that's what I was wondering. So as you're inserting the slide breaks, it'll continue with that same grouping.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you do get down to where the chorus is, will it automatically change to the correct grouping?
So if it was a new song and it didn't group, right? Is that what you're asking?
No. I'm talking about, so say you're down here on this slide right here, and it's in chorus right here. As you continue to add these additional lines, it's adding it to the chorus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I was trying to make sure.
So it's going to keep its grouping unless we tell it. Let's say, for instance, where's our sound break here? This particular slide, we wanted to group it, and it wasn't with the chorus. Let's just say it belonged to verse 3. Then we could change this slide to change to verse 3. So why is this important? Our grouping and what I learned, why it's important? Because our mouse acts a little finicky, right? So sometimes when we click you click and drag, and that's not what you're trying to do, or you accidentally click on the wrong slide. It helps us if we could just use the keyboard.
Yeah.
So,
because I had some real issues with that mouse. I'm like,
this mouse is something else.
I don't trust using the keyboard, but I know what you're talking about. I just don't trust it yet.
You
It's in my mind.
don't trust the keyboard yet?
Not yet. To move between slides,
Mm-hmm.
only with the arrows. I
And
don't
then
trust
it's
the
only-
letters.
And then it's only, is it the right and left arrow or the up?
The right and left.
Because the up and down won't move.
But you see that letter?
But
That's what
here's
she's about to show you.
the letter. So remember that all of them are groups based off of where it's the verse, bridge, chorus, whatever. So easy for us to move around. Let's just say they're singing, right? And then Joanna says, go back to the chorus or go back to the very top.
It just goes.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fastest way for us to get there is using the keyboard. So the letters, we can just use the keyboard letters to take us to where we want to go. So this is A. So now let's just say she goes here. She doesn't want to do verse 2. She just wants to go to the chorus, right? So we'll go A, and let's just go down to C to the chorus, right? And it takes us to the slide, and it's already pulled up on the screen for us. Now we can utilize our arrow keys or spacebar, does the same thing, to go through to the next slide. Now she hit that chorus, and she's like, I want to go back to verse 1. I want to sing verse 1 again. A takes us back to the very top. This is faster than utilizing this mouse, but we get so in the habit of using our mouse. But
It's gonna take
She's so trusting.
mind. Yeah.
I know.
It's mind over matter.
It is mind over matter. And then the other big thing of that is when we have to know the songs to make sure that we can transition. So for this particular line, I'll never be, once they get more hit B, we should already be transitioning to the next line. So that way we're staying ahead and not transitioning at the same time that they are, just because there's a delay from when we click here and what they see on the screen, especially with the dissolve on. On this one, it's not on, but if the dissolve is on, it takes a minute to,
It takes it longer.
it takes it a little bit longer.
which we're supposed to have the dissolve on each time, so that the way it pops up on the screen will.
It kind of just it disappears more than bounces on and off the screen.
Now, how the delay on the dissolve, is that the shortest delay? Because some songs move really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm just like, so it feels like sometimes, even though you're trying to keep it, just it's still like taking a little longer.
Mm-hmm. So for me, this is my personal preference. I wouldn't like to do the dissolve when it's on faster songs because we're having to move through the slides quicker.
I wondered that. I just didn't know if it was okay to do that.
But for consistency's sake,
right,
we keep it on. But that is something I can talk to Clarence about to see, because now that we switched it from 2 lines to 1 line, we are having to move quicker through the slides than what we did before. But I can see what he says about that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it does make it difficult, especially if this song is fast. I didn't hear this fast or slow song.
It is a
Slow
slow
song. See, slow songs it's fun. It's those faster, more upbeat songs
that becomes an issue. I mean, because I feel like the dissolve makes it take even longer.
It does.
For the screen to the lyrics to pop up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even if you were on that middle word, just like you said, you click on it before the end of that line, it's still gonna take a moment because of the dissolve.
Because of the dissolve to switch over to the next screen.
Right.
Yeah. I'll ask him about that.
Okay.
And see what he says.
I mean, because I get that you do want the dissolve, and it's nice on those slower songs.
It's the fire, and it always makes us look like we're behind.
Right.
It's like we're not clicking fast enough.
Right.
But it's really how the dissolve is set up on there. I'll talk to him about that and see what he says. But essentially, adding new songs should fairly be this simple if we do it this way, because then we can copy it, import it in, add the theme, and it should be good to go from that point. And even on your lyrics, you want to add the label. So when it breaks it out, it says this part is your verse. Add all of that in there, because then it'll automatically add your grouping for you in ProPresenter.
You want to mention the arrow? What the arrow means?
Oh, this one?
Uh-huh.
What arrow?
That arrow.
Oh.
The triangle. The triangle.
Triangle means that there's something. So for me, from what I understood, there's something happening with this particular slide that we need to pay attention to, right?
So it's usually that something's not showing up.
And it also gives you. It did.
Yeah.
Tell me what was going on. Okay. One or more of the text box on the slide is too small. So basically it's saying something's not right? So then we'll go to our reflow editor. We'll figure that out, what that is. So here's our slide. It's 10. So here's slide 10. And it's telling us
all those other lyrics are in that one slide that you can't see.
And then we need to
because sometimes the line, even the single line, will just be too long that you have to change the fonts to get it to stay, the size of the fonts to make it stay on one line.
So this one, I thought this one would be one, but no, it carried it. Wind.
That song was pretty good though.
Yeah. So this is the part that can be the most time consuming, is right here, and making sure that everything is on one line. Because how the theme is set up for it, it's only going to allow one line to show. So you just have to pay attention to that. Yeah, questions? Okay. I feel like I'm all over the place with this, so. So that's essentially adding the lyrics, a new song. Now, a lot of the songs that y'all have sung are already in here. One of the things, too, is we went from ProPresenter 6 to ProPresenter 7. So some of the songs that were in that old library, y'all haven't sung yet, which means that in ProPresenter 6, we used to do a lot of, like, backgrounds and all kinds of stuff. And so when it imported over to ProPresenter 7, you'll see that sometimes there's some error messages or those triangles. They'll pop up, right? So we just have to go and fix those. And then they don't have the theme added onto it because, we do one lines now. I don't know See, this one's already done.
That's a good one.
So like this is a good one. So this is one that was in ProPresenter 6. I haven't signed this one yet. So what can we do? We can really fix all of this by changing the theme. You can do things in this view. Kind of makes it a little bit more difficult when you do it here. Or you can also do it in reflow. Mm-hmm. So this is a good one where the theme is not added to these slides. Can we add the theme from here? Okay. So boom, now we added the theme here. But as you can see in some of these, like this slide 11, it has 2 lines, but then there's only one showing up. Then we just add and we fix it. And then the question marks, I think, is the background from ProPresenter 6. It's not that big of a deal. We don't even use the backgrounds anymore. So when you see it up on the screen here, don't even worry about it.
Do you know, I didn't understand when, the little blocking around the letters.
The stroke.
Stroke. I didn't understand what it actually was until the last Sunday I was here.
Mm-hmm.
Because they kept saying stroke, but I was like, okay, I'm still not seeing what you mean by stroke, you know.
The good thing is that with the theme, Clarence has edited it, that it automatically adds the stroke.
Yep.
Okay.
And so that's what I was saying. Like it's really looking at when something like that, they say stroke, right? Okay, what happened with the theme? There's something either happened with the theme, maybe the theme didn't take correctly, and then you have to reapply the theme on here. Because sometimes I've noticed, like, when I'll add the theme to the presentation, it doesn't take. So I just keep doing it.
Yeah, because you remember that you were here that Sunday, and you came in and you helped me and Marcus to do it. Well, then it was like, it got like the first like 7 slides, but then like the next 6 right after, it didn't take.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, and we sat right here and watched you highlight the whole, you know, the whole thing.
I said I call her a she. I call ProPresenter a she. She's moody. I call her she moody. But yeah, so in those cases, when we see old ones, we just need to add the theme onto it, and then it's telling us, again, there's something going on with the slides, and we just see what that is. We can always change everything in the reflow, or you can also look in a different screen here, and this is edit. And so this is the black around the letters is the stroke. But essentially, the theme already has that built in it. So if you don't see it, it's probably because the theme didn't apply to those particular slides, and you just need to re-add the theme to it. What else did you want to talk about? Outline, grouping, shortcuts. So no questions on lyrics, right? Okay.
Dropping the lyrics.
Dropping the lyrics. That's a good one. Okay. So on this side of the screen, it will tell us when we have something up. So whenever we click here, we can preview it here on this screen. When we want to drop our lyrics, clear all means, let me add a couple things just for, no, that's not
that's that countdown.
That's the wrong countdown.
Has he shown you that countdown? He showed it to me last week.
So I haven't been worked back here since all of that went up. So this would be like our typical go live service when we're doing our 15 minutes before the service. Let's just say the host engagement moment, right? This is where we now pull our countdown from. So once we hit show, essentially it'll show in the top corner, right? So now that you see that this message screen here, it's called messages, you also see that it showed up here on the side. And our lyrics are also showing, which is this button here. So anytime, let's just say we also have an image, this button will be highlighted as well. To clear it, where'd my mouse go? Oh. to clear it, we can just click on whichever one we want to clear. All right. Or if we hit clear all, it's going to take away everything that we have up. So we just have to be careful with that.
Now the cool thing I noticed, if you put a slide back up, and because Clarence was like, you can do that, and I was like, how? And so he showed me how. So say they just took a break, right? And like they're ad-libbing or whatever, and then we know the next slide is gonna come up, but we don't want the words up anymore. By only hitting not the clear all, but although nothing else is up, right? By only hitting that icon, we keep the preview of the next slide up. I didn't know that. And
See, this is new for me.
so, because the preview's supposed to also help the other person. So I was like, with PC, right? Like, we don't keep his slide up there the whole time he's talking about that point. But if we want him to see the next point we have ready, we can just drop that icon and he can still see the next slide that we got ready for him. You know?
That's cool.
I think it's more beneficial then instead of here.
Yeah, definitely. Because this back screen is now used as y'all's confidence monitor. So the back screen is going to show this, right? So it'll show this. It'll show your lyrics.
Yeah.
It'll show your time. It'll show all that.
Is it up there now? I just would like to go
On the
out and see
back?
what it looked like.
I think so. And I don't know if they turned it on.
I mean,
or
it
not.
literally looks like that. That's literally.
And then right
this,
here will
they'll
be
link
to
whatever
the camera.
shot is live.
Mhm.
It literally looks like that.
Oh, okay.
So this is new.
We
New.
appreciate it.
Okay. Oh, no, I
No.
just didn't realize you could see all of that, you know? Okay.
I don't know who was here the week before, but he showed me, since we've been live, it's a little different countdown. Can I show that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So by doing the countdown, there's two different things he showed me. This part is the rehearsal before
Oh, our countdown.
yes,
The
y'all
praise,
countdown.
the praise teams get off the stage countdown.
So that is, if you look at it and you show it, right, you barely can see it, but it's going to get brighter and
it's
brighter
in the
and brighter
background.
over time.
Okay,
right?
as they get closer, as the countdown goes down. Oh, that's
So there's
okay.
that, right? And then there's also this countdown that he said, we used it once last Sunday. He said we might start using this. And it was what you showed earlier, because you can adjust it. Say we have a guest speaker, or like last Sunday, we had B. He was doing the graduation ceremony thing, right? But we only wanted to give him 5 minutes. So we put 5 in there. We then refresh this, because this isn't at 5, by going backwards.
Oh, push that.
Wait, hold on, I need to hit out of that. All right, refresh it by going backwards. Now it's 5 minutes. I press play when he gets up there. And what happens, I'm going to show y'all what happens with it too. Let me stop it. So let me give less time so we can see what happens when he goes over. Because V saw this at another church and he said he really liked it. So we were also thinking about maybe using it with PC on the first service so he won't go over.
Yep. So we're going to talk about that. But
Okay.
yeah, I want to see it from, I haven't seen it from this way.
Okay, so then you press play. And so you're counting down. You got 2 seconds left. Now he went over.
Now he went
So
over.
it's
he'll see
counting
it.
up and he can see, okay,
How
I'm going
much he's
over
going
this
over.
much.
Okay. And that's on the confidence screen
Uh-huh.
out here.
Yep.
It's not on the front.
No,
the
the one that's
congregation
back
can't see
here,
it.
but
Yeah,
yes.
only
Yeah.
him can see it.
Is it on?
We gonna see.
But yeah, he showed me that, and he wanted to use it with PC. We didn't use it at 9:45 service, but we did use it for V at 12 o'clock
12 o'clock.
service. And he got off the stage like 15 seconds before he needed to.
It's
Like, he
on.
wrapped up really well.
And so then if the camera was on, then they would see themselves.
Whatever
Like
camera.
Ariana said, they'll
Okay.
see them whatever camera
Okay.
trying to buy.
That's
So
that
then-
little black square.
Okay.
Yep.
And
So
the
here's
only
the
way to
cool
get
thing
out of
about
that-
it.
Huh?
Oh yeah, go ahead, show us how to get out.
Stopping it right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I never seen it from this area.
Okay.
But I do know that we can also create, so PCO has it broken up by the different elements of the service, right? Well, we can set a timer for each element of the service. So that way, once we trigger the timer, it'll automatically do that.
Oh, okay.
So this is a little bit different from having to do it this way every single time. because we can set it up ahead of
Ahead
time.
of
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
I like that if we could set it ahead
Yeah.
of time. 'Cause
Yeah.
then I wouldn't have to. I mean, it's always so much to have to remember to do
Yes.
during a service day.
Here's the caveat to setting it up for is that every element of the service, even if we don't have, before we wouldn't create slides, let's say for like impact moment, right? We wouldn't create a slide. But in order to use that countdown, we have to create a slide. It just has to be a blank slide there in that element.
Okay.
Then once we click on the slide, it starts the trigger, the countdown. It triggers the countdown.
Ah, okay.
So that way, nothing shows. It's just a countdown, so they see it. So by doing that, we do have to add the PCO playlist into that, and then link slides in there. So, let's. Is this one of our playlists? This is June 13th.
Yeah, that was last week.
That's last week. Okay. So we'll just do it for last week. And with that also being said, we used to do host engagements. I don't know if that's going to come back or what's going to happen with that.
What do you mean, host engagement?
Like having our host here. 'Cause
The
this
hosts
Sunday,
have been here.
tomorrow they won't be here, right?
They won't.
Yeah.
They're doing them more infrequently, but they're still going to be a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just not like every week or every other week type of thing.
Okay. So every time you see PCO where there's a host engagement moment or a segment, we have to create a separate set of slides. Before we used to do our lower thirds and just link it every
Mhm.
time, but now we have to do it differently. We'll have to create multiples, if that makes sense, for each. So you can call it host segment 1 or host segment 2 and link it in PCO for each of those segments. And then you can set your countdown
Okay.
in there. So this is last week. So let's just say we wanted to set our countdown here. And again, we're doing it for each element of the service. So we'll go into our settings. We'll do our countdown here. And we'll allow it to overrun. So that way it'll start showing up red or show negative every
So
time.
it'll be in the same area too, and it'll look exactly the same. It'll just be more manual.
It'd be
more
more
automatic.
Right. And so then what we'll do is we'll have to trigger it. So once you hit trigger it here, it'll show up here.
Okay, cool.
Right.
That's cool.
The other thing that you can do too is you can add it to your first slide for each of your segments. And that way, once you click on the first slide of that segment, it'll start.
So I have a question, Ashley, because it started with you doing that, but are you saying we just need at least one slide if we want it triggered? Because we don't have anything in the other areas right now, but it still started.
Well, because I triggered this, so it's only triggering for this area.
Yeah. So I mean, and if we just need a slide in the area we wanted to trigger in.
Right.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
every section would need a blank slide to trigger it. So if our host engagement moment here was 15 minutes, well, of course, for host engagement, we have lower thirds, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say we didn't.
Yeah.
We'll do a blank slide here. So we'll have to create a presentation to go in this segment. So that way we could trigger that.
So wherever we
countdown.
want time to start, it needs a slide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then you can also do it here. You can create your trigger here. So what you'll do on the first slide of each of your segments, you would go add action, and you can go timer and countdown. We'll set it for however long we want it to set for.
And it's countdown for the entire thing. Okay.
Yep. And so with your countdowns, it's going to keep going until you trigger a different countdown to go.
Okay.
Right? Until you stop it, right?
Can you, if you don't trigger another countdown, can you at least just drop it?
Yep.
Okay.
You can drop it the same way you would do
Okay.
clearing it from
Okay.
the screen.
Okay.
And so then you add it here. We hit enter. We'll add it here. And so now you can see that it's on this first slide.
So how would you clear it? Again, you just
So let me run it.
If it's going right now, the same way you would clear.
Yep.
just clear all or clear.
The countdown
lyric.
thing is green, so if you press stop, that would stop it.
Yep.
Oh, on down here.
Mhm.
Okay.
The regular.
Down
And your
there, okay.
timers.
Yeah.
Okay, I was looking up top. Sorry.
Yep. You would just stop
Okay.
it here in your timers.
Can you start it again? What will happen if we clear all? Like, say the song is going and then the song stops, so we clear it all. Would that clear the timer? No, it won't.
Nope.
Okay.
No. Okay.
No.
Until you stop it.
Not
and do
until you
another
remember because you got to
timer.
trigger it And so it's just going to keep going until you either stop it or you trigger a different countdown. So I know Clarence said with Pastor Clark, this Sunday we don't have to worry about it, but next Sunday he wants to start utilizing these timers for Pastor Clark, giving him 40 minutes. But if we go ahead and start being consistent now with doing each element of the service, then it'll always be there, right? And that's one less thing for us to have to try to fix every time. Yeah, and to remember, because it's a lot. So then you have, again, you can do it here, but every element needs to have at least one slide in it in order to do that. And if we set it up in advance, once we click on our slide, we start our timer, and we allow it to overrun, so that way they know how much time they have left.
Because I think the big thing, like, it would be great for the hosts, but right now the hosts are not facing the audience. Mm-hmm. They're only engaging the online audience, so their back is to the audience.
Yep.
So they wouldn't see it.
They can't see it.
Yep. They can't see it.
Which is good while we have that other timer that they can still see.
Mm-hmm. Which would be essentially both would be going, because then you have your messages, and this is the countdown that goes in the top corner, top left corner. What else? Is there any questions on that part? No? Okay. This is a lot. You got a lot on here. Okay, timers. Sermon notes. Sermon notes are...
They might come, they might not, yeah.
Those have always forever been up in the air.
When they do come, everything else shuts down.
You get them when you get them.
You get them when you get them. Exactly. Get them when you get them.
So what happened this Sunday that was different than I've been in media since 2008, and this is different since then. PC did not. He hasn't done this before. He has not keyed a point, but kind of talk about a point, right? Mm-hmm. So we wouldn't put it up there, right? So in between services, I told Robin, he talked about it, he didn't key it, he said different wording, we didn't put it up there. She's like, yeah, that's what we did. She asked him, and he was like, oh, go ahead and put it up there if I'm talking about it. He's never told us to do that before.
Right.
So I just say that so that if we're wondering, I say we still ask each time. Does he want us to put it up there if he starts talking about it? Or do we need to wait for his wording? Because the second sermon, he kind of played with his wording a little bit. But when he saw me put it up there, he said the exact words, right? So it was interesting, but I wanted to put that out there.
No,
that is interesting because he's never known.
Because PC is known to do that.
I was like, because he has been known to.
PC is known to do that. Where like he says the phrase, just not with the exact words. It's like,
and so I don't put it up because I don't want to put it up before he said it. And I'm
I would just check with him, just let's not assume, let's ask questions, right? Because he might say no, wait for me to say it. Right. He might say, no, go ahead. If I'm talking about it, go and put it up there, so.
That's different.
It is different.
That's different.
So I wanted to share my experience with you all.
Thank you. Because it'd be the moment I come back here and then you'd be like, you didn't put it up. I'm sorry. So adding sermons is essentially, we get it normally through email or print, but once you get the same thing, Clarence typically or Robin will go through it and highlight what the points are. Mm-hmm. But as you know, each person is a little bit different when they preach and how they send their sermon notes. V is very 3 bullet points. That's easy enough, right? Mm-hmm. PC has his full
his entire sermon.
Yes, his full sermon, and then there might be pictures that we need to put off in there, and so that's you got to really pay attention with his, and also Denise and Kiko. Mm-hmm. Kiko's very.
Kiko.
She's it's a lot in hers too.
Yes, she got a lot.
So typically, it's easier to copy and paste. Once you get it through email, you'll get the sermon notes and just copy and paste. Now, how I've been taught to do this might be a little bit different. So we'll just utilize this piece of paper. So we went through creating song lyrics. So sermon notes, typically, since we're in the same series, it's easy enough just to copy and paste or duplicate. Let me use the correct terminology. Duplicate from the previous week. So we can go there. Anything in the library you can duplicate or make a copy of. So you would right click on that, hit duplicate, and then it'll create another one and put a -1. Yep. So if we're in the same graphics in the same series, it's just easier to take our duplicated one. You can either do it in this screen or you can go to edit. Edit is quicker. And then you can change your points to whatever you need to change your points to. So here's the message. This is scripture. We'll talk about adding scripture in just a second. So you can just change your point to whatever the point is from the sermon. Now, we're adding scripture, new scripture, right? Because, of course, this is an old sermon. We can go to Bibles here and then look up whatever scripture. So, if I can spell with my nails today, let's just do.
Does Apple make a bigger keyboard?
Just curious.
Everything is wrong with them, right?
I'm like, because they ain't think about us with these.
I need to take mine off. So we're in the Bible, and here's our scripture, and it's already set up to break on a new verse. So every time, so it's gonna be one verse per slide. If we didn't want it like that, we would just go to options and uncheck it, and then it'll fix it. Also, you're able to change your theme in this setting. So let's just say we weren't using this background anymore, but the theme is already set. Then we could change it. So our scriptures and our sermon notes are always GMZ sermon. And then here's our scripture.
I didn't realize you could change it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So let me go back to break on that.
Yeah, I like it that it's already set and that it automatically works.
But sometimes if it's not like that, that's where you'll go to the options fix it. So the best way, the quickest way to put this is back into our presentation that we were already in. We'll go to Save As, copy to our selected presentation. And then we can go back to,
And changing the versions.
Oh, yeah, changing the versions.
Changes, or somebody changes the version.
Yep, they'll change the version. So this is how you select what version. Here. And then sometimes, like the Message version, I think it was Denise who preached, and she used the Message version, and it was not in here. Like, it wasn't in our library. In that case, Clarence will have to add that Bible. He'll have to purchase it to add it into.
Oh, okay.
into here.
So the version
Translation.
Mm-hmm, the translation.
wasn't in the library. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, because there's so many different
Mhm.
ones. Oh my goodness. But I love that. Just on another topic, that because it really helps to get a better understanding sometimes when you see it in a different version.
Yep. So we did Save As, copy to our selected presentation. So it's already in there. We didn't see it do anything on this side, but once
But
you
we know
hit
it did.
show,
We see now it's in here. Okay.
you'll see it, but it always adds it to the very bottom.
Okay. And then if we need to move
How do you
it.
move stuff around?
Great question. Many ways to move things around, right?
Can I highlight? Can I do like I do and shift, copy, and drag it and move it?
You can. You can highlight it, drag it, and move it. So now I moved it up here.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Tricky thing with ProPresenter is you always gotta click in that little gray area to move what you want to move, and then once you highlight it, you can click and drag it. It's a little slow, but you can move it to wherever you want it to move to. That's in this view. If you go in the edit view, you can do the same thing. You just take it, highlight what you want, click drag, and then move it. Did I miss anything on that, Susie?
Since it's sermon notes, and we know sometimes we get them at different times of the day. If you getting them during service, please let the TD note, you're doing sermon notes, and to turn off your key. So then if you accidentally click something, it won't go up.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just be cautious of like that. Yeah.
Yep. And then also talking about that, whatever you do in this view, if they don't remove that button, it's gonna show on the screen,
Yeah.
right? But
right now the queue is on.
well, is
Or
it on?
the-
Yeah.
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 This here-
So if it wasn't, she could click it.
Key 4. There you go. So with the screen that's highlighted, so the ME1,
Mhm.
that's where it's go live, so it shows out in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
But if key 4 was off, then we're still going to be able to preview it back here.
Yeah.
It's just not.
It's just not
to
showing
them
for
out
them.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the best time or the best view to do any of your edits in when we are go live is in the edit screen, because when you're in this screen, it even if wait what? Oh, it's because I had some. I was like, wait a minute, what? Let me go back. Let me clear this real quick. Let me clear. Now I'm here in the edit screen.
And nothing's showing unless, and if you wanted it to show.
And if you wanted to show, you would hit show here.
Okay, but we don't. So
Right.
Okay.
Unless
If
we know
need
for
it.
sure key 4 is off.
Okay.
Right? Because anytime key 4 is on that board, then it's gonna show it to them. Yeah. That's how we've been doing things because we've typically been in the same series. If it's a new series, Clarence will normally create the lower thirds, and just like with your lyrics, you have to add the theme to your sermon notes and your points.
And you can make the points,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can change the third. Like you can, so if you're waiting for him, don't wait for him.
You
Go
can
ahead
make the
and
slides
your
and then you
points.
can add the theme to the
Uh-huh.
slides.
Yep.
Right.
And so same thing, you would just go into your themes. It's GMZ sermon, and let's just say it's a new theme. We're not in this one no more. We're in a new one. This is our old one. We'll just act like our old one.
Okay.
So it's always going to be in the themes in GMZ.
Okay.
Sermon. So whatever the
Whatever
theme
series
is,
or
whatever series we're in, will be added into here. I feel like I'm missing something on that. So any questions?
Based
on
on the
that?
notes or not.
Okay.
Audience looks.
Audience looks is something that has changed. So I'll update this some more. I just kind of updated how to create the lyrics, but I'll go through. We don't use audience looks anymore. So before we had these two ProPresenter left and right, we used to have like the back, the back screen, whatever, that thing. So that middle screen used to be used for full lyrics. Whenever we were singing in the background, it's pretty visual, yeah. So we don't do that anymore, but it would be the audience look. I think one day I pulled my hair back here because it was just too many little details, and I could not remember that day. And I thought Marcus was gonna quit. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But we don't use audience looks anymore. And then let's talk about just bringing PCO over. Or adding your playlist or PCO into ProPresenter. It's been a while. So we want to, yeah, we can create for tomorrow. So plus sign in our library, then PCO service. And then we're always looking for the weekend. Tomorrow is the 20th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we hit select. And there it is. And so this is where now we'll just start clicking and dragging all of our presentations that we created into each of the elements
Where
here.
do those live?
Those live in your libraries here. So,
Okay. Yeah, okay.
yeah. So we'll just, our sermon, this is the one we duplicated for 613.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would just
drop
put
and
it,
drag over there.
drop and drag.
Okay.
Yep. Other one, drop and drag here. It already has the timer already on it. So once we click on that first slide, then the timer
It'll
will start. Yep.
Okay.
And then we can stop it here, or again, a new timer will start whenever we trigger the next one to start.
Yeah.
So 2 ways to add your timers: you either add it to the slide or you add it to the actual element of service. So I think that's pretty much that, right? That was the simple part. It's adding PCO into that. And then from there, we're just building our flow of service.
Everything else.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss any? I keep asking you because I haven't worked back here in a while.
Thank you for showing a lot of stuff.
I haven't worked back here in a while, so it's like
Just the thirds, we do the same thing as we do with the sermon notes. So we usually have a playlist for the thirds, a playlist for the sermon notes, and then playlists for each songs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so just remember, like, moving forward, next Sunday, we're going to start creating a presentation or a playlist for every element, even if it's a blank one.
Just to do the
right?
timer.
Just to do our timers.
Okay.
So that'll be that. So, yeah.
You know what? Maybe we can make a playlist, just a presentation just called blank slot, so people can just slide it over in each one.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
or timer slot, so it can just be blank. And
Yeah, oh,
Yeah, that'll be
Timer
smart
slots,
to do
yeah,
that. Timer starts. Yep, we could do that. So then we could just do that. So, Malika, you working tomorrow, right? So this is your, put your PCO in it.
That's the reason why
I
I
don't-
said. That's the reason why I
She's-
asked. Go ahead, create that.
Let's hit 2 birds with one.
Look. I think these are all new songs, so for tomorrow, right?
And what I
Are
said,
they in? But we got the actual lyrics this time, right? In the
well, what I
supposedly.
said to Clarence during his thing, he mentioned that we don't have all the songs. He said
tomorrow.
it didn't look like those was all the songs. He looks like there should be more.
You're right. He did say that.
And so I put that as a note for him to check.
Yeah, because in media,
There's only 3.
there are 5 files in. Oh, okay. One of them is the stems, so maybe not.
What is that? What does that mean? Still?
And that's because I
The
couldn't see
stems.
from
So
my
the
phone.
stems is for us. So that's the
I listened to that last weekend. I was like, this sounds weird.
It's basically what we hear in our inner ears, where it's announcing like verse, chorus, and the background, the like under background vocals for us.
Uh-huh.
That's what's in our ears for
Oh,
us to
okay.
practice.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a. I don't know why I put it in there, but
Okay.
that's for us. That's how
Let
we
me
are.
grab my phone because Robin sent me some notes for tomorrow.
Yeah. Connor, I sent you your notes. Okay.
Okay.
Ashley taught us some tricks of the trade.
She
Clarence.
did.
Clarence taught me those like real fast. Okay. So the other thing too that I was watching is, if y'all see on y'all's notes, it's like red something. This link at the top,
Oh, yeah.
renewed vision. So I looked at that a lot too. And so they walk through how to do certain things in ProPresenter, like creating the lyrics. So when we talked about like importing it from text from clipboard, that's in there.
It's at the very first page at the top.
Okay. Very
And
Oh,
then
okay.
It's the website.
Have you looked at the thing that Clarence has talked about in the
Salt
last
University?
meeting? Yeah.
So,
I
yep.
saw
I
one
did
thing in
look
there
at
for
that. That was
ProPresenter.
interesting.
yes,
I haven't looked at it though yet.
I clear
They
my
have a
email,
lot of
but
videos, and I was like, dang, when I get some time, I'm gonna really have to check this
Go
out.
around and listen.
Yeah, he was saying something like last Sunday to try to do one a week or something. Or look at one a week. I still haven't yet. Maybe that could be my to-do before Sunday.
I have to pull it up because he did. So what he did, he's taken a lot of videos and uploaded a lot of videos of ProPresenter in our view, like what it looks like for us.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. This right
Because
here.
when I looked, I signed up during the meeting, so I don't think everything was there yet.
I just got my
So
pages out of order.
maybe there's more now. Because I was like, there's a lot of stuff in here for me to figure out where I need to go. I thought I signed up. Did I sign up?
And then this is the last page.
I got stuff everywhere. I got so many emails in here.
Okay, so then, okay.
I thought I started, so I didn't have to
Thank you.
ProPresenter. Salt University, here it is. Okay.
I don't know how y'all do without stapling. That's what these staples are for. I staple everything.
I need to.
I
That
gotta
way I don't
staple
get it.
everything.
That way I don't get it out of order again.
I get the
So what
notes.
is this?
Let me see the
This
staple.
is Salt University, and it is a program to where clients can upload videos. Oh Lord, I would forget what I put as my password.
Me too. I'm trying to go in here.
I didn't create a new one. It emailed me what my password was, and I just saved that.
Oh, I think I figured. Oh no.
Of course, mine would be wrong. Of course, I don't remember emails. I mean passwords.
I'm just lost in my password. I'm just not lost in my password.
That's right. So for each area, so even for like TD, for camera, he can upload a lot of videos in here, training videos that we could use to look at.
Because ProPresenter had about 20 of them. Like, I was like, this is perfect. I was like, I just need to take some time to watch them. I just saw it yesterday, I think.
I'm gonna make my password simple, so my brain just can't think these days.
I wish they would give you, this is what the guidelines was for your password, because then I figure it out, because it's
You're
only
like,
a few
oh.
versions.
That you typically use.
Yeah, because then they say it has to be 8 characters and you have to have
Yeah.
a capital. Okay, I know what I need to do.
What? And then I hate it. Like, really? Listen, I'm trying to go what's easiest for me to remember now. And I gave y'all everything.
They didn't like it?
No, they told me to create a stronger one.
Well, at least you got your email. I'm still waiting for my email.
Mine was in my junk or promotions folder, with Gmail.
Yeah. You changed it. Now you gotta put it back in.
This is just a lot. Okay. So I have not looked at all of these videos, but he did go through several things. There we go.
12 characters? I don't remember doing that. That's wrong.
So if you go up to, once you log in, you go up to My Programs. And it's kind of slow.
Okay.
So you can see he's created pretty much like a training for everybody or every team. So in here, this is our ProPresenter stuff. He said that these two, Module 1 and Module 2, is from Salt University, but 3 through 8 are videos that Clarence created and uploaded in here.
Okay.
So he walks through the basic terminology
Oh, I like that.
of ProPresenter from our setup.
Did you go to the dashboard to see the classes or view classes?
I went to My Program. Oh, dashboards.
Okay. I'm on my phone, so it probably
Looks a little different.
So that goes into this one. And then we just want to watch one video.
In ProPresenter 7, your content is the hero and the interface is a trusty sidekick.
And so these are the
When you
same
start
videos like
using
from
the new
Renewed
interface, you'll notice
Vision.
how it's
This
set
is
up
the
in a
one that I looked
logical
at too.
left-to-right workflow.
But
So on
Clarence
the left
uploaded
side
that
of the
in there.
screen, we start by selecting either
I thought
a
he said
library
3.
or a playlist, and you can have multiple libraries inside
I
ProPresenter
feel
7.
like he didn't
When we
set
select a
my stuff.
library, we'll see all of the presentations inside that library. Or I can select a playlist and I can see all of the presentations, headers, and
supposed to be one
media
from,
that are
like, our
contained
setup, but I
inside
haven't
that
seen it.
playlist.
The
We can
other
add
thing that I
new
looked at that was
libraries, new
pretty neat.
presentations,
Oh,
playlists,
Lord.
and training center services by clicking here, or we can minimize this area to give us a larger view, but we can still
Okay,
toggle
where'd it
between
go?
different libraries and playlists by clicking on the
So this
title.
one?
Next, let's select some slides
Right
and
there.
start them playing back,
Yeah.
and we can see them on the right
Oh,
side.
this one
in
is
our
still moving.
preview
Okay, I
area.
was like, what happened? The other thing I learned that I really like is when we're talking about lyrics, you can set different arrangements of the songs in here, and you can save multiple arrangements of the songs in ProPresenter. So that way, what you can do is, depending on like what arrangement y'all sing it, we can just pull up that one in there.
Or what leader sings it.
Or
'cause
what
they all
leader
sing
sing-
it
right.
differently.
And that's what I like, but that's a little bit more down the line.
So do you choose the training to go to or just follow the program?
You can choose which ones to go to.
You want me to power cycle my phone? What is that? Close this stuff. Okay.
And like I said, I haven't looked at all of them, so
No,
For each
because I typed to see what it's doing to me.
let me send you this.
Huh.
And I'm like, I'm connected to the Wi-Fi.
Oh, I don't connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi in here is
It's,
questionable.
Okay, that might be why. Okay, let me get out of it then.
Okay. And I think Shelby did Shelby send out the link too?
That's how I got it the
Because
other
Shelby
day.
sent it out?
Yeah, it's because Shelby sent it out.
I have been the worst with my emails, so
What's your email?
ARIANA
A
period RENEE 321 at Gmail.
Okay.
Sometimes I be looking at my junk and it's better than my inbox.
Rachel, I'll see you tomorrow.
The Quinta.
Yes, Susie.
The Quinta.
She's sending me to come back. Well, I'm just stating what happened. Don't shoot the messenger.
The editor of ProPresenter 7 is
I'm just providing
I was like, how dare you?
information.
I mean, that's what
Thank
it is. I
you.
mean,
Thank
about the
you.
Wi-Fi.
Thank you. It makes me happy.
Tell Ashley I said hi.
So all of these look like these
It
the
was
same
about an
videos.
email.
You got an email? So all of these videos look like these are the same videos from the renewed vision link that's on top of
You may
that.
be still in the first module.
Are there more modules?
Select module 3.
Okay. All it did was move down to,
No? Oh, okay. Then never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
yeah, it's just scrolling down to the next video.
You have different ones, probably because you're in different areas. Are you looking at yours already? Oh, I thought you were looking at yours.
I don't want to subscribe to the newsletter. Register.
But I'm like, here's a picture of our setup.
Mhm.
Here's our setup.
It's there.
It's there.
But this one I clicked on.
My
ProPresenter
program.
7. Interface overview.
ProPresenter.
Awesome. Okay.
Module 3.
And then there was, let me make sure I touched on everything because Clarence did want me to show y'all one more thing.
No, I don't want to see anything else.
She
I'm
said
done.
no.
I have no more brain capacity.
How? Oh, really? Just with our lower thirds, when to put them up, and that was the biggest thing that he wanted us to pay attention to. He put a link in here, but he didn't highlight. This is from a couple weeks ago when we went live. He just didn't highlight what
For you to be
particular
used on this morning, what is it? What gift do you need to walk in?
part of
Maybe
the
it's
service.
singing. I don't know. That's not my gift. Amen.
Amen.
That's why I'm here with the
Is he
microphone.
showing an example of
See,
Look,
Yeah,
everybody in
he's
the
showing
first
an
three
example,
rows.
but
Oh, shout out to Miss Val. I see you, Miss Val.
Look.
Hey,
an
Miss
example of
Arlene,
when to
the
put up the
sanctuary.
lower
Look,
third.
we are a little
And
bit
one
shy
of the
Well,
things,
isn't the
before
TD?
worship is
Tell
Yeah.
me
going to
Wait,
begin.
Yeah.
don't gloss
but
over that.
that's
That
one of
means
the
y'all got a
things
lot
we
of
gotta watch
time
because
with
the TD is over
Oh,
here
come on
changing,
now.
switching
have a
cameras,
lot of
and we
time.
might be ready to
Look,
put up
we
a third
like,
because they say something, but then they switch it, and that's what happened to me one Sunday. Is that they were saying something, or PC was up there or something, or somebody was up there, and then they switched cameras, and then it didn't have the same people, and the third didn't match
It
the
wasn't
people that was up there.
Mhm.
So just make sure you talk to them and let
So
them know.
they're not calling the thirds anymore.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. And
But-
so we
but-
can't speak to the TD on headset
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Robin
Yeah.
is our go between, but
Yeah.
a lot of times Robin is
She's
like
doing
doing
everything.
everything,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And so that's what Susie said, just making sure that they understand and paying attention to when their camera gonna switch.
Yeah.
But also like
Because
this
we
stuff,
usually are
like
listening.
this like here.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they moved them around. Like, we want Tyler's name to be under
Yeah.
him and Sierra to be under him, but right now it's switched around. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yep.
Okay.
That, and then there was another part they were talking where the third didn't match. Which this one is okay, because they were talking about what to expect as you're coming into the building. But it was something else. I don't remember. He didn't give me the exact location of where it was in the video, and it was way too long to watch. So, but we want to just pay attention that we are putting up the thirds when they're speaking about that particular game.
Okay.
Yep. And if we're not sure, just pull it back down. You know, tell TD, hey, we need to take this down. So really just communicating with the TD and letting them know, hey, we got a third coming up. I'm going to preview this, but this is coming up. Also with sermon points. Hey, we got 3 points in this sermon. We got 4 slides of scriptures. So that way they're prepared because they don't have the scripture with them. So they don't really know what's coming up next. So it's on us to be able to tell them what's coming up next and communicating that. That's all I got, y'all.
Fabulous.
So I hope that was useful.
Yes.
It was.
I learned something.
Now let me get in here.
I know. Now I'm gonna go eat lunch because I'm hungry.
Let me take a picture of me and one of my Juneteenth shirts today.
She said one of
Well,
them.
yes, one
I
of them.
like
Look,
that
you got
too.
change multiple times.
We got the rhythm and blues thing tonight.
Oh,
Oh, y'all
Rhythm
remember?
and ribs. We all got the same shirt in different versions.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yes.
All right.
All right, ladies.
Bye,
It's
y'all.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the learning and saying.
You're welcome. I tried. I feel like I tried.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, follow those. I'll see y'all next week. Oh yeah, I do safe management next week. I will. I'll be here next week.
Bye. Have a good day,
Bye.
weekend.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll make it ready for tomorrow.
So-
Slide this chair back.
Oh. So you'll have to add all your songs, right? Because they're not in here. Let's see. I pulled a PTO for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's see, June 20th.
What time is it even?
Oh, 11:56. It probably would have been easier if we just would have went through here. But are there stuff in? Is there stuff in here? I don't see.
Bye.
Bye.
You gonna take your notes with you? Susie.
Oh, what happened?
Are these your notes?
Yes, but I don't keep good notes. So like, watching her, you can be tried. Because watching her is how I learn.
Okay, cool.
I
just didn't know if you wanted to take this with
Thank you,
all.
Because, yeah,
Okay.
I'm definitely a visual learner.
No, you're good. I just didn't want you to leave it if you meant to take it.
Thank you.
So normally, where is the I don't know, was there something already in PCO? Some documents already in PCO, weren't there?
What version of this are you looking at? Are you looking at it online?
Mm-hmm. You pull
Okay.
up Planet Sarah online.
I just hadn't looked at it this way before, so that's why I was like, this is weird. I hadn't seen it in this view.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to see all of the files that are attached, but yeah, they're all in here, so this will be simple for you. Because all you have to do is, except for Most High, that one's not in there. Stems for Great Jehovah.
Okay, I need to.
So what we're looking for is to get the documents, because remember, we're just going to copy all of it and import it in, so you don't have to type each individual.
Right. So where is it located?
So that's what we're
Scroll
looking
down.
for. There used to be like links at the bottom of each section, but I don't see any of that.
Okay, that's as far as that goes down. It won't go like.
Yeah, because that's the end.
Oh, this is the end. Okay,
Mhm.
so there's nothing.
Sermon.
Okay, there's
Oh, there
Is
it is.
that's
You found
sermon.
it.
Okay.
But that's the
That's the
file
s-
for
oh,
the
that's
sermon.
for the
So what we're
sermon
looking
for
for
the-
is your lyrics.
Okay.
So you'll just scroll up. There you go.
Okay.
That one.
How did you get here? Are you? I'm just trying because
On
like
the
if I come
internet.
back, so and
so
then you
if I
just
went
type.
here to, I just
Oh, you
added
just click
a
the
new,
plus sign.
added a
Okay.
new tab,
And
and then planning center.
Okay.
Typically, it's already logged in because Clarence has it logged
Okay.
in sometimes.
Okay.
then you can log into it yourself.
Okay,
if it's
and
not
that would be where it comes
already
up.
logged into the computer.
Okay,
Yep.
and then we just click on the day that we, which is the
already
first
here.
one.
Yep.
Okay. And then we can scroll down to where we can see there. Okay, there's 3. So this is the first one. This is the first one I need. Okay.
So then you're looking for, that's how they're going to sing it. So you would take the stem.
And do what? Cut.
Oh, it's an MP3. I thought it was a Word document.
Okay. Let me just stop on it because I don't want to hear that right now. It didn't stop.
Let's pause it.
Okay.
So in our
Still
cases, yeah, it's another stem.
And that's the YouTube video, right?
You can click on a YouTube video, but sometimes on YouTube, and if you open it bigger.
No, I was just thinking it was going to give me the option to make it bigger. Okay.
And then scroll down, go to show more.
Hallelujah! We serve a strong God. He's a mighty God. He is Jehovah Jireh. He is Jehovah.
Normally, sometimes the lyrics are right in here, but then you'll just have to go to multi-tracks, copy the lyrics.
Just pause it. And let's do this one. And
Oh, it's already open.
okay. And what was the name of that one?
But they have what is this? There's a PDF document in here with like 4 pages. Oh, what song was that?
That's what I was trying to look
Was
up
that
and
Great
see.
Jehovah? Yep, it's already in there. The lyrics are already in PCO.
Okay.
So go back to PCO. And it is. Let's see. What? Okay, keep scrolling. Because it's on the.
Okay.
Oh, go up. Let me see. There's no files up this way. Because it's in here. Under plan, here are all the lyrics. It's not in that one. Try this one and see.
It's just these 2.
Where is this one at? I'm looking at it on the phone because when I open it, it's all the lyrics. That's interesting because it's 5 files. That one only has 5. This one says. Let me get back. Go to plans.
Okay.
And then yeah. How do you get to the files? What is this button? I've never done it on the. I mean, Okay, nope. Not that. What does this drop down do? Nope. That's not what we want. What about up here? This drop down. Nope. Where are the files at? Because it has all the lyrics already in a PDF, so you don't even have to.
It's just trying to find the PDF in
yeah,
here.
trying to find the PDF in here. It's gotta be in here somewhere. That was Simon, right?
Because there's.
Let's try that one again. We didn't see it. Those are stems. That's a YouTube.
We're just seeing, you know,
I know.
I'm like, we're just clicking on it, see what's in here. Okay.
Interesting that that's not in there, but it's in here. Is it Cardell Booker? And it says the lyrics. Is what the name of the file is.
And there's not a file right here that says that.
And that's not it, because we
That's
looked in
just
there,
the-
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because those were just two.
These two here.
Interesting. Because it said it's under the plan. So in here it has plan, it has worship set, and then it has sermon.
What's on this arrow? Oh, we don't need to add a plan title because that's what it is.
Interesting.
And
And we
clicked
already
on
looked,
that.
and we
Okay.
already looked here, because we went back to the weekend worship. That was
Yeah.
that one. This is interesting. That it is not there. So,
Okay. What's this arrow? Oh, that's just his profile.
why would it disappear like that?
If we heard search, what was it called again?
Cardell, Cardell.
Oh, I'm hitting too many. Ooh.
Booker. But I don't think it's gonna find it.
Oh,
No people
oh,
sing songs. It's saying it's not in there. I don't understand how that's not in there.
yeah, because I was just like, yeah, okay.
No media, no files. Interesting.
So we need it so I can make my job easier.
So we can do this. What's your email address?
It's WR. My last name is spelled M like Mary, CLAURIN, the number 1, @gmail.com.
You would think I already sent you an email, huh? Okay, so it said I sent it to you. So then what you can do is just log into your email.
Okay. Girl, let me see if I remember my password.
Probably would have been smarter to like walk through this training and use the new lyrics. That way you would have already been done, right? Because what I
Okay.
don't like is that I don't like that you here so long. I'm like, we gotta figure out how to get you not here so long.
Yes. Okay. I'm trying to go
Oh,
to
you
my
know what?
password vault.
This is what I can do real fast.
Okay.
Because I sent it to you, we can do
Uh-huh.
this. What did I do with it? Oh, this is the training that so you don't even have to worry about doing it.
Okay.
I just sent it to you real quick. So what I'll
Okay,
do?
so it's in yours.
My
I can just pull it.
sent box.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, yes.
Sometimes I just put stuff on the desktop so it'll open the same. Okay, so now.
All right, now we can copy and paste.
Now you can copy and paste, okay? Because that's what we want. We don't want to be typing up all these lyrics. Uh-oh. I leave my email signed in sometimes. We don't have to get up out of that. Okay, now I'll find out. So now you should be able to. Here's our lyrics. Boom. Here's Great Jehovah and the other one, Most High.
Okay.
And the other one. more. Oh, see, right here.
Okay.
So now you can do the copy and import into.
Okay. Okay.
So that'll
I
make
need to
your
go to
lists
the
go by
bathroom real
quicker.
quick, but yes, that will make life so much more easier. All right.
Yep. And so then all you have to do is really worry about your thirds.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna try to see something because it was supposed to go into Reflow Editor and it didn't do that.
Okay, so now we're gonna do like we did file. Was it file? Import text from clipboard.
Now it's supposed to do a paragraph break or
Or line break. Okay.
One line per slide. We set our theme. Here, to plays in worship Lord third. We want it in the songs library. We don't have our playlist. Well, we do, but it's not working yet, so we'll just do none.
Okay. Because we can
Import.
just drag and drop and do
Mhm.
have that. Okay.
Drag and drop. And it's supposed to open. See, there was saying it's supposed to open Reflow Editor, and it didn't do that.
Okay.
So then we'll just go into Reflow Editor, make sure that it done this.
So
This should
it
not
shows
be.
2 times here, but we want it to actually be like right here.
Yeah,
That
so you would
X2.
add your label here, and then you can say repeat.
But can we put how many times to repeat?
You
Or-
can. You used to be able to. It used to have more, but yeah,
More
you can
options.
create.
Okay. And
edit
then put my 2 times.
times.
Okay. And so again, I'm trying to make sure in my mind, if we click on the next slide here.
But this is just him talking into the song, right? This is him ad-libbing before the song starts. So we
Right,
wouldn't
yeah.
necessarily put this up, right? But we would start at the verse.
Okay. So here, so if we're in this slide here, and then you clicked on, I'm just trying to make sure I understand how we got to so then I'm here, and then I go to label, and then I just click edit. Do I go ahead and click edit, or just scroll down?
Click edit.
Click edit, and
And
then
type
type
in
in,
what you
okay, and type in what I want. Okay. That's all. I was just trying to get exactly what you did in my head.
Yeah, but remember, you also do it from the arrows here. So you don't even have to click on the slide. But one of the things that I noticed with this song is even though we had the labels for the section, so it didn't take the chorus lead. So this is grouping this as a verse. This really should be your chorus, right? Because it says chorus lead. So this should actually be your
Chorus.
This shouldn't even be a slide.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So this slide needs to be deleted, period. But then that section needs to be labeled chorus. And so let's go ahead and delete that. Did it make, okay. But then this from here to here, from 4 to 10.
So pull back up your lyrics.
Is that,
so this is your verse, and then your chorus is because he paid the price for me. Back on Calvary, that's your. All of this is like your. This is interesting.
Can I print this? Because it'll. Is it a way to print this? Okay. That way I can sit here and not have to click different screens while I'm in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's interesting. I'll do this real quick. I'll do your labels real quick.
I'm
Because
gonna
that's
run to the
interesting.
restroom real quick because I do need to get to that.
That didn't take.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so this, I don't know why, this is the screen I was trying to get to come up, but it wouldn't come up. So, that's alrighty then. Your first fucking time. So then here's your second song, and I need to delete that slide. That's too much. So it didn't do the line breaks on this side. Or the slide breaks. So we lift our hands because you're mighty.
So if we break it here and make that so that it won't be too long.
We lift our hands to you, cause
I don't know what the song sounds
I don't know how it sounds. That's why I'm trying to let it eat.
Now that's in here. Let's see. Which one is this one? Most High.
Oh, you are worthy almost. Okay. So what does it say now? Boom.
So there's hands to me. It's your so high is not on there.
The lyrics are right. And then this repeats. So something's a little off in here. You are worthy. So this is the chorus. They repeat the chorus 4 times. Alright. So here, we gotta figure out this one. You.
Let me go back to the.
You might just have to know because it's missing 2 words off of here.
Oh, Lord, I thought we were the only one left here.
So we could parse with it. We could.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. And you just have to make sure to make this one.
Cause it cut.
Since it's the start of a new slide. This is the chorus, and they do chorus 6 times. So this 4 lines is the chorus. So then you'll have to regroup. This is the tag. We lift you up and bless your name because you're worthy almost high. Right. So this is what's happening here. So when we imported it, oh, it's the same color. It just looks different over here. It looks almost the same color. That orange and that pink kind of blend in. So it did it. Here's the tag. So then you just have to know your chorus repeats
Okay,
4
so
times. So you add your label.
Okay.
4 times.
Okay.
So repeat your chorus 4 times as your chorus. Your tag is already in there. And then chorus repeat 3 times this time around. So now put your chorus in here. And it's just, hold on, let's go back. Oh, we bless your name because you're worthy. Remember, that won't go on. Is that break?
But will that off?
Oh, how did I change it up here?
Cause this, yeah.
It's okay. We lift you up and we bless your name. Is that break? Because You're worthy. Almost high. We lift you up and bless your name. This is the break right here.
So we always want this to be moved.
Ah.
In fact, it makes sense to go back to camera 2 on iMac. Then I can do audience shots here. I can even do multiple audience shots here. I just know that eventually
You're worthy.
Oh, do we want to capitalize these since we're talking about God though? The why? Excuse me.
If you do, you're gonna have to do all of them. I wouldn't.
Okay.
If it's you, I would, but your, I probably wouldn't really worry about it.
We want to capitalize the speed.
Because you're worthy, almost high. Is this how we did this up here?
To another camera, there is no, it's no longer getting this. This doesn't jump.
Oh,
between
no,
this and this.
because you're worthy.
So it has to be.
Ah,
Same difference
see,
with
what happened when I
the,
moving too
the
fast?
hashtag.
You are
If
worthy.
it's not on
You're
here,
worthy.
then when I switch,
Is there a way to set a button? Like one of the unit buttons?
What's your name? Because you are worthy,
so
almost
as of right
high.
now, we're hitting both.
This is still a tag. We lift your name and bless your name because you're worthy. Will that go on the same line? I wonder.
Yeah. Oh, will it fit all on here?
Let's try right quick.
Yeah. Does it? Did it fit? But I don't like the way that looks.
But it's still showing the triangle, so something's not.
It's saying it's why are you trying? It should be showing a triangle anyway. See,
Do we need
we'll
to
just
reset the thing?
let's just put it on a separate line.
Yeah.
That way, type
And it took it away.
it took it away. Now
Mhm.
you are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. Almost high. Interesting. Oh, where's our tag? Where did our tag go? This is almost high. Then goes to the chorus. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. 3 times.
So this is for that part right there.
Mhm.
Okay.
You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. And then here.
But that's different. Okay.
Right? Because it says it 3 times on the.
Yeah.
You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. Almost high. And that's different from this chorus.
That was what I was seeing. That was
Yep.
what I was saying. Different.
I was
Okay.
like, something's
Different. Yeah, because I was like, is that saying it different than this?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So tomorrow during sound check, you'll just check that second chorus. Let's make sure. So this should be grouped as
The tag or the
vamp.
vamp.
Yeah, and this is not necessary.
We're still recording?
I already know how to stop it.
Are you still in the trim?
No, we're done.
Okay, there's still a little stuff in here.